Hello and welcome into Collection Time Only, brought to you by Sorare Data. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Nep, playing into it already. Joined by Nep and Gator Guy again. Oh, you too. Guys, I am so excited for the comments that I've seen in the chat already. My favorite one so far is from our good friend Tuggy. We're all just here because this topic just screams out to us and we just want support and justification. That's what this entire show is about, like every week. It's just being like, I think I did something really stupid, and the three of us are like, or maybe, but it could work. And that's what we're here for. That's what Collection Time Only is all about.
Absolutely. Somebody mentioned to me today about the gallery valuation of Sorare going down. And I always think back to, I can't remember who said it, but it was like, this isn't an investment wheel. This is to have fun. And I'm like, that's how I justify myself. I'm like, if all this disappears tomorrow, I'm okay with that. I wouldn't be, but that's how in the moment, that's just how you tell yourself that I'm absolutely okay with the fact that I've bought into an Arsenal limited collection from the Sorare buy it now button. And at the time of doing it, I think you actually told me I was stupid. It might have been for a different collection, but I did it. And I was immediately like, I'm just going to look at these prices like next week and they're going to be halved. And they're not, they're up.
I will say that the current season Premier League, like the new season Premier League cards, are going to hold for a bit because of this competition coming up. So you have given yourself some leeway in terms of the eventual decline. So that's no, I think it's great. SR Monkey here, degened hard this week. Again, that's what we're here for. Bought a Juni Ito for the international break, then proceeded to buy a full collection of this season's rhymes just to get him to 9% before lock.
Perfect.
I don't even know if that's degenning.
Yeah, that's just smart business, isn't it? That is like,
you got a Teddy Tuma. You got to feel good about that.
As long as it's the jersey, man, then I'll welcome you into my own club.
It's Wilson would like us to justify the smart, dumb Manchester United collection.
Is that Haber's burner?
Do you know, like with Haber, I'm certain I've seen him buy and sell Man United collections about 8 times. He'll buy them and then they'll just stink and he'll just sell everyone. I'm like, you just shouldn't have bought them. And then the next week, I'm like, I just see he's like picked up again like 7 Man United players. I'm like, he's doing it again.
Is that after they've scored like 3 goals? He's like, oh, they're back.
Yeah, probably. Like, yeah, we've got to win. Here we go.
So he's missed every single time that they're actually good. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he buys into their depression and sells into their success.
Tobias said, I think I stumbled into a collection. I made a trade with Pavel, saw he had a Zinkernagel, which is someone I wanted, did some negotiating, and suddenly I got a Dragus as well, both Liège 2022-23 cards. I said this to Keith a while ago. I'm now backtracking on this out of my own frustrations. But Pavel is the best collection grower you can have, or a collection buyer you can get. Because it's like, especially with old collections, if it's like, oh, I need that card from whatever season that is. And I'm like, I wonder if Pavel has anyone. And you're like, he's at 5%? And you're like, yeah, because he owns every card. And so anything you need, he's got it.
So Laird, I want you to pause on that and now recall yesterday. And I want you to decide if you still agree.
I agree with the premise that the Pavel Gallery is extremely helpful in building a collection when it comes to, we got the chair switch.
The chair collection. Yeah. We've all got a chair collection. That's what's up.
Squeaky wheel needs to go.
Like, if you're looking to get a number of cards from a single collection in one trade, Pavel's had to do it. That's it.
Do you want to tell yesterday's story? It's like perfect for the show. Nobody's going to go pay it. You're fine.
That's certainly true. So I don't, yes, I'll do it. So there is a card in the 2021-22 Ren collection that I am growing that actually there are a couple cards that are way overpriced. And it's a combination of being overpriced and almost no liquidity. And so it's like, oh, well, the last sale is $100. And I'm like, yes, but the last limited sold for 12 cents. And so I'm not going to pay $100 for the limited. And they're like, yeah, but last sale. And they're like, and actually the last public sale is $350. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to pay that. And so I went to Pavel because he had like 8 cards that I could have added to my collection. But one of them is the card is more important to the collection than anywhere else in the game. Like, it's not a playable card. It's not one that's going to get better anytime soon. And so but it's a rookie card. And with building an older collection, like there's no auctions anymore. All of the jersey mints and one-ofs are either accounted for by collectors or on dead accounts. And that kills me. But so now it's like, okay, now I just have to accumulate the trash plus fucking Kamavinga and Doku. That'll be real easy. But anyway, so apologies for swearing. So this rookie card, yeah, it's like it hasn't sold in months. Pavel got it in a gallery where he just like robbed somebody, and now he won't sell it for a reasonable price because
he wants to rob twice on the same thing, obviously.
Well, no, it's because the last sale, because the card never moves. It's stupid. So like me and Larry were talking about, the problem is like the valuation thing is broken. You can't even like blame Powell because he's just like, look, I'm just going off of like the data that I have. This card's only like moved to. That's not the same one.
No. I can still blame him. Don't tell me I can't. Don't give me that.
Well, no. I mean, Laird, the dude's doing. What did he show the one time he woke up? He has 1,700 open offers. Like, he doesn't have to go, oh, Andrew Laird, I'm sure he's a rational offer here. Let's go. And then he's like, actually, fuck that guy. I know what he's tried to send me in the past.
That's fair. I will give you that. I will give you that. I will say, particularly frustrating about this specific card that I need is, I'm looking at it now. One sold 2 months ago. So, I mean, I might as well pull it up. What the hell am I hiding here? So this is the guy, Lom Chuano. I don't even know who he is. He plays for Salernitana. And no, I'm not going to start a new Salernitana collection now that he has new cards. But anyway.
Well, it's not even special edition at that point, so of course not.
But if you notice, it's like, these are all of the cards that have moved in the last year. And it's like trade, everybody getting out of it. And then one went for 70, one went for 78, 27 days ago. And then for some reason, 2 weeks ago, someone bought it for $119 from Basel, no less. Nobody pays ETH to a bot. You just trade your trash. And so you don't screw with the valuation. But anyway, so now the valuation, it's like 167 for this. I think this is actually the one I tried to get. Is that Pavel's right there? It's not even. But like, nobody's going to sell it now for, like, I was willing to pay, I think I offered 80. And they're just like, no chance.
It's what's funny, first of all, is that Pavel is like 25% of all trades in the last year as well.
Yes.
But also,
which is bad.
If you just look at the last 2 months of that card, it's gone from $70 up to 78, up to 119. Pavel thinks this guy's worth about $500 right now.
Yes. Absolutely right. Absolutely. And to make it even worse, because these are all the new cards are in bundles, his price will never go down.
Yeah. Until like somebody this guy just going up for 129 is like, okay, this guy's obviously not worth 129. I'll sell him for like $7 to someone. Then you're in.
That's my hope.
Yeah.
I should just send a $7 offer right now. I'm sure that'll be taken really well.
So I have a question for you, Led. Like you, and as well to you, Keith, as well, because you guys both move in and out of cards quite a lot. But do you reinvest to spend on collections, specifically limiteds, or do you sell to buy?
I'm not sure. I totally.
So do you add like another $100 to Sorare to like work on a collection, or do you sell what's already in your gallery to like fund it?
Yeah.
No.
Because there's so many collections that I want, and I'm like, I can't keep putting money into this platform. But I am way too lazy to sell some of my dead cards. And also, when I see a rare, like I won a rare last game week, and he's like worth like £7, and I'm like, even though I could sell him and buy like 3 limited for a collection, it feels wrong to sell a rare for £7.
I did this. I had that exact same experience literally yesterday, where I have like a $7 rare, and I'm like, am I really going to sell a rare card for $7 to buy a couple?
And that's what I mean. Like, wouldn't you rather just put in another $7?
So the unspoken secret, because secrets tend to be unspoken, I don't put any money in. Like, I sell cards and I'll have a balance, but like, no, I don't.
You don't know.
Okay. I haven't deposited in well over a year.
Nep, I don't know if you have listened. I don't remember what show it was, Laird, but the depositing, at least over here still, if you don't do it on credit card, is the worst thing ever.
Oh, okay.
That too.
It's the worst game sweat
you still can't
ever if you're not a crypto bro.
Oh, okay.
If you're not a crypto bro, like I'm not.
That's
just
fair.
like the 15 minutes of wondering if I just gave some dude like $1,000 that I've never, and then it's far over country. Yeah, no chance. So no, I have no problem selling rares for $8 though. That sucked.
I just wish I had. It's a combination of time, mental capacity, and desire. Because I've got I think over 300 rares now, and a lot of them are collection rares. A lot of them are like just for collections, but I've probably got a good like 50 to 80 rares that never serve a purpose in SO5, but also don't serve a purpose in collections that I could trade into something up or down, to blues or yellows. And I just look at them all and I'm like, yeah, when I paid $2,500 for a David Neres and now he's like $100, I just cannot sell him.
But like, are all 50 to 80 like that?
Pretty much.
No.
They're all like all of my initial purchases on this site were atrocious.
Yeah.
Like, not even just atrocious.
I made fun of you behind your back. I made fun of you behind your back, by the way.
Of course.
And if I would have known you at the time, I would have made fun of it to your face too.
I think you need to step back from that though, because they were not atrocious purchases. They were just purchases that were the cost at the time that you bought them.
No. Buying
there were some
38-year-old Bradley Wright Phillips for like $100, that's atrocious.
If I remember, there was like a Steve Clark super rare in there right as he got benched.
You take that back. Steve Clark super, I still have him, and he wins me loads.
I was just about to say
great now.
Not winning his card.
No, I think
he didn't get benched. No, I bought him.
In Portland.
No, I didn't have him when he was at Portland.
Okay, it might have been somebody different.
Maybe I bought him. Maybe I did. I don't know. He is one of my longest serving players at the club, mind you. Yeah. But like, I bought some Korean guy who's for like $130, and I was like fully getting into this like Korean stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna collect, like not collect, but I'm gonna buy like a couple of players from this team. And I literally bought him, and then like 3 days later, somebody in my stream was like, "Oh yeah, he's like in jail for like he's a sex offender." And I was like, "Oh," and then it turns out like that news was there already. Like, I just didn't do it, and it's like, okay, whoever sold this to me is they're living the dream. And then there's a goalkeeper that I wanted to buy. There's can't remember his name. One of the Turkish teams. There's a super rare goalkeeper that I had, and he was their first choice goalkeeper. He was an under 23. And I sent an arm and a leg to Pavel to get him. And then if you like backwards trade those players that I sent as well, I sent an arm and a leg to get those guys as well. And it's just like, honestly, it's just it probably cost me about like $15,000 to get this one goalkeeper that was worth about $2,000 like through the wind, And then he has a few stinky games in a row. We're talking like multiple errors that led to a goal in a single game, conceding a penalty, getting a red card, and the other goalkeeper gets game time. And so I bought a few of him rares, because I'm like, yeah, okay, like Cenk Gonen, his name is. I ended up winning one as well, which was really disrespectful after I tried to sell them all. And I had a bid out for him, like an open offer for like £250. And it's because I just wanted another one, because I'm like, this guy's now going to be their starting goalkeeper, because the other guy is just Bilal Bayezid is his name.
I knew exactly who it was. I literally have it up on my screen right here, and I was going to pull it up. And I was like, I think it might be Bayezid.
Yeah. And then he ends up getting straight back into the team. And I'm sitting there for like 2 days, not even recognizing what's going on. And I'm like, oh, okay, Bilal's back in the team. That's okay, because I've got his super rare. Like, this gives value back. I've still got an open bid of like 250. And then randomly one day I get like a little notification on Sorare. I'm like, oh, sweet, I've sold someone. Who is it? Nope. I've just sent some guy £250 for a goalkeeper that's now worth like £11. Like, it's just, yeah, when I look at cards like him, for example, I can't sell him. I just can't sell him. And it's bad. They're bad purchases.
Okay, I'm going to agree with you now. That
Yeah,
those are probably bad. You got to change. You got to do 1-day offers. That's what I do from now on.
Yeah.
Except for jersey mints, those will stay open forever. If I could set that to stay open for 10 years, I would.
Or player edition SIG cards.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, one of those.
Hey, Diogo, if you're out there.
It is pain actually. When we look at, like, you mentioned earlier about like the inactive accounts, there is an inactive account with loads of super rares that are like really good now that he obviously just picked up that were like young or just like not playing and stuff. And I send him some offers sometimes just to be like, hopefully he gets an email and he's like, oh yeah, that's so rare thing. Let me log on to there. Oh yeah, I'll take $50 for this card because I haven't got a clue what's going on. And he just never bites. And I'm like, he has got like probably about 10 ETH worth of super rares and rares in his gallery. And but then you think about like the thing that might be like the worst case scenario. It's like, what if he just died? Now all of his stuff's just like, but
I hate to admit
right?
that I think about this all the time.
What if this and now that all their cards are just there on an inactive account, like all of these assets? And it's like, if your family don't know much about Sorare or anything, you've now got assets that could go to your family if you did pass that they would just never be able to access.
This is super grim, but I've definitely thought of this before. Like the odds are so much more in favor of that this has happened before than not happen. Like there are enough people on this platform. Things happen. Anyway, we got to get off this topic. Anyway, catching up in the chat here. It's Hershey says, first time catching live. Let's go. So glad. Thank you for coming in. Germ says, hi, I'm Germ, and I like to collect. Excuse me. I hope this is a safe place. Always safe.
It's very safe.
A few people were looking for some Rivals invites. I was going to say this, but Hoodwink beat me to it. Good luck for everyone in Israel, Switzerland, unless you're playing me. Haggis has 50 matchups for the Switzerland game. That's crazy. I thought I had a lot with 20. Tobias says, tell me going into a Liège 2022-23 collection just because I kind of got 2 cards on accident is a great idea.
We'll get there.
Yeah, of course it is. What do you mean? Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, that's yes, good idea.
All right, so do we want to kick off stupid bad? Because I've got a teaser for you guys as soon as we're ready.
I didn't think we were actually admitting to anything stupid today, but sure, go right ahead.
Well, considering the fact that the title came, Laird's like, do we have anything to talk about? And I just was like, what could be like a fun title? All right, so I want to ask if this is stupid or a potentially genius idea, because I almost did it, but I was really worried that I would end up with like 12 cards in the next hour, so I didn't. But I'll phrase this to Nep, because Laird was in the chat that I put this in. Nep, would you dare buy a card for Rivals just so you can maybe like beat up on Hoodwink or somebody else, but then decide to accidentally collect the entire team? Because you could have bought, granted, Xhaka was one of the better plays today, and that's a hell of a collection.
So, are you talking about the Bio collection? Yeah. So that is an
outstanding collection.
I have
a hell of a get weight.
Yeah. To answer your question in short, no. Like, Laird invited me to Rivals, and after about 3 minutes, I was like, "This is awful. Like, this is never going to catch
cold
on."
take.
It's like Rivals is just so bad because you can't win anything.
Yet.
When you're supposed to be
good. You're supposed to understand if you want to tiki-taka.
You can win coins right now.
You can win coins now, can you? All right, now I'm a little bit more interested.
You have like achievements that you get coins. Like win a matchup and you get coins. Win 5 and you get more coins.
Okay, so I think I won 3 and lost 1 in the matchup that I put together, where I like put no thought into it at all. Just goes to show how good I suppose I am at this game if I'm still winning.
I knew that was coming. I absolutely knew that.
But yeah, no, I don't think I would. I am all about buying collections. And again, it comes to like time management, right? I genuinely believe, and I will stand by this, that if you just bought every card when it was just like at a reasonable floor price, you will over time make really good money and have really good SO5 lineups permanently.
That's basically what Satonio does. Like, that's a buying bot that just min bids everything, and then if it wins, it wins.
Yeah, and I think that's a great strategy, but it requires either a bot or it just requires like an insane time investment to like make it work. In terms of the Xhaka's a painful one for me because I had a feeling he'd do well at Bayer, and his super rare was on offer for the Arsenal collection for like £400, and I looked at it and I think I went with. I actually might have bought Jorginho instead.
I know. I think you might
linked to Turkey.
Well, no, and you bought it from me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but because I was like I couldn't believe you were selling it because I'm like, okay, Jorginho's like heavily linked to like one of the Turkish teams, and he will just destroy out in Turkey. And so I had the choice of him or Xhaka, and I was like, okay, I'll go with Jorginho, and that was a bad idea.
I mean, he's playing for your team now, at least. He's just not doing that well.
Yeah, that's true. But then today, as I sent you guys in the Discord, I missed out on a one-off collectible.
I mean,
Arsenal Super Rare for £68.
That was horrific that you didn't have a max bid on that. That's like, I mean, I've done some really terrible stuff too, but man, I almost bid on it, and I'm like, no, surely Nep's just gonna come in here, and I don't even want to like.
This draws us back to what I asked before. Like, I would have to reinvest to buy that because I don't sell these. If I sell all these crappy cards I've got, maybe I'd have a balance for it. But I tend to get a balance and immediately spend it on things I don't need.
Makes sense.
Nep, do you not use the Sorare data auction alerts on the mobile app?
I do not.
Nep, maybe you should start using the auction alerts on the Sorare.
The thing is it takes time to set up, and I can't be bothered.
I mean, that's why you don't have this one of 10.
But who knows? If I did bid on it, it might have gone for like £300, and now I'm sitting there with a Cedric that I just don't care for, that I've overpaid for, that I'm never going to make any money back on. And then if I did buy him, and it did even get to like 120, 150 or something like that, then I have to commit to the whole Super Rare collection.
It was a one-of, right?
Yeah, it was a one-of, yeah. Because I'd have like one of the collection pieces that is just for the collection and nothing else.
On a positive, isn't he number 2?
Yeah, he's number 2, yeah.
So?
No, maybe not anymore. He might have been.
I know he was always 2 for Southampton. As Laird was besmirching Cedric in our chat, and I would not stand for that as a DFS player. Cedric, I love an inaccurate cross in DFS. Nep, you've done a good job of not playing, but an inaccurate cross is just a beautiful thing because it often leads to another inaccurate cross. And you just start getting a ton of points over and over again.
So I forgot what I was going to say before. Cedric's 17, by the way, so there will be no jersey men.
Yeah.
That was.
I was waiting for Nep to explain the negative of buying that card and then building the Super Rare collection and having this really expensive. You kept going, and I was like, okay. And then I was waiting for you to be like, and then the problem is, and it just never came.
Yeah, the problem is I would have to reinvest. I would not.
He
would
be start doing more. That would be your gateway drug, and that's where my question was going. By the way, with the Xhaka.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But I know for certain that if I bought that Xhaka, when the Rivals is so smart too, because I was like, I have no limited cards other than I have a Gotti Kinda. He didn't start, so I wasn't going to do any of my little pro cards. I'm like, all right, I'm going to be playing this Rivals with no pro cards. And then that little screen after you choose your captain comes up, and it's like, you could benefit from a pro card here. And it suggested Granite Xhaka. I'm like, that would actually be not the worst card to have. And then I could get Hoffman, Grimaldo, Radowski, Victor Boniface, which I actually really need his USG card more than his Bayer one. Yeah, it would have just gone really, really, really badly, really quick. Or been great. Because that's an outstanding, that collection's printing money right now.
So, a quick thing. Ruben Vargas has a big chance missed, and I'm furious.
He's good at that.
What are the reasonable odds that you build that Leverkusen collection and you're like, I don't like this. I wish I hadn't done it.
0. I mean, well, no. Actually, no. Let me take that back. I'd actually get really pissed off right away because I would have started it. I would have missed all the jersey mints. I've been like, this is so stupid, you moron. Like, you should have made this decision like a long time ago. And then I would have looked at all the games they've absolutely smashed in. I've been like, man, there's multiple tier 0s there. I'm like, I would have just like gone down a really negative spiral.
I think this is one of the things with the teams as well, like buying into maybe an Arsenal Super Rare collection or even an Arsenal Rare collection isn't necessarily the smartest thing, because even when we win, we don't really have those hitters. We don't have the Rodrigos or the Dokus when he plays at home and whatnot. We don't have the Ruben Diaz's. We don't have the Hoffmans or the Grimaldos. Like, but by Leverkusen, like, you can very, very easily pick a 5. You know, you've got the goalkeeper, Hradetsky. He's insane. And even if they don't keep clean sheets, he gets great AA.
Yep.
They've obviously got Grimaldo in defense, and I think Tapsoba does an outstanding job of
or Frimpong
AA as well. Yeah,
Frimpong's nice too.
Then any midfielder you want, whether it's Palacios or Xhaka or Hoffman, they all absolutely slap. And, you know, Hoffman and Grimaldo share sets, which is great. And then you've got a striker who, honestly, like, I mean, we might have had like a rough patch last couple of games, but if you watch him, he's different, man. Like, I think he's going to move on from Bayer very quickly because he's just way too good to be there. And so with a team like Bayer, you could buy that collection with no regrets because you are going to win things with that team. Especially
now I regret
Rivals coins.
Now I regret not having a pro card of Granit Xhaka, as I'm noticing that he's smashing his face off already. So thanks.
Oh, is he? Let's go. He's in my All-Star Rare Plus. Oh, he is. Let's go.
He's actually really good for Switzerland, too.
Yeah, he is.
Somehow Akanji is the one that had the big chance created. That Vargas
probably off of the corner then.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's weird if Vargas took the corner. Yeah.
Anyway. I forget what I was going to say. Magnus, going back to a few things, said, I still have a rare Jack Price that I bought for half an ETH. Some YouTuber said he was the poor man's Carlos heel. Is it time to sell him?
No. As somebody that bought his super rare just in time for him to tear his knee, then tear his Achilles. I mean, that's so the type of card I think that you can sell is the 39-year-old that has, you know, made a couple moves and he's a backup and you're just never going to play him with any sort of confidence. Somebody like Jack Price, who I think is like 31, 32. I was just checking his Instagram. Yes, that happened. Saw him in training, was saying how good he feels training on his own. I think it was his wife.
I was going to say, where is he training? The season's over.
I think it might have been his wife that said something. I can't remember, but
yeah, he's at his home
that's
gym.
Not the type of card I would be selling out of. Like, until you like find out, like, what's the worst he's gonna happen? He's probably like $7 right now, and he retires and he goes to $3, or you know he lands, you know, I don't know, like lands in Nashville or something like that, and
I just
starts taking their set piece. Even if he doesn't ever cook like he used to, if he's just a serviceable card,
Cat modes.
his value will go up.
I saw first of all, I saw a gallery today. I can't remember who it was. It's somebody that's always watching the stream, because I was watching your guys' podcast yesterday and they put their name in the chat and I was like, oh, let me just check this guy's gallery out. And his gaming yield is like £6,000. Yeah, his card yield is like £3,500. And I'm like, you just focus cat modes. I'm like, people like Jack Price, like that return on investment in the cat mode, I think is like priority number one for everyone. Like, okay, it's great to win all stars and stuff, but consistently getting that churn of ETH or cash every single week is really, really nice. So yeah, that's good. But also part of collections, Josh XL's linked me just yesterday. Did you know? And you guys probably did because you're just way more in tune than I am with this sort of thing, that Emil Forsberg has joined the MLS.
Yeah,
and
so
his price went wild.
You know what's crazy?
Go on.
No. Do your anger, then I'll tell you the fun.
Two reasons it angers me for. First of all, if I just had one of everything, I would have him. And now I either get to use him in SO5 when he slays or sell him for a big profit. But number two is like, look at the missed opportunity because you didn't read the news first.
Okay, so can I make you feel a little better on this one?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so point one, nobody ever slays for New York Red Bulls.
That's not true.
All
Mr.
right.
Edelman.
No, nobody slays.
My guy, Daniel Edelman. I won his Super Rare a little while
He
ago.
does not slay.
You know who the last guy who slayed for New York Red Bulls was? Bradley
Thierry
Redford.
Henry.
Phillips. But Brad, did you say BWP?
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, but he probably got like 60s across the board because of negative AA, because of all the damn fouls.
I said Thierry Henry, but that's why I'm
Henry was
cultured,
pretty
so-
good.
I mean, he
Yeah.
probably too. But so their style isn't conducive. So like he'll be okay. But temper enthusiasm. And two, we got a long damn way till February. So like this always happens with the transfer is the middle finger graph. Like it'll cool down. And it just happens to also be on a break. Like so one of my buddies literally bought him for a lineup this midweek. And then he actually was questionable and like might not play. But then the news happened. He's like, well, that worked out well. So, I mean, there was also baked in there too that he was coming up on actually having international utility. So, I mean, it's already coming down, as you can see there too.
Yeah, it is. But
So,
it is still that like, and this is what I'm saying about like the way the collection, like degenning collections, is if you've just got an Emil Forsberg, you sell him up that middle finger, and then you just buy him back again. I mean, you did it, Keith, right?
Sutar,
The other day, yeah. You sold him up the middle finger, and you just wait till he comes down again. You buy him again.
yeah,
It's
give him like
genius.
3 more benches and it'll go. But no, I don't. I would not beat yourself up on Emil Forsberg, though, personally.
We're gonna remember this moment in time,
Oh, it's fine.
and
It's
then when
fine.
March
I
comes
just-
around, and he's putting up hundreds.
That's just not the Red Bull style.
I think 2 things can be true. I think that he will not be great in MLS, and I think Net blew it anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Sad times.
I will say I don't know if you saw this, but God, Sorare's timing sometimes. So they literally had a Forsberg super rare auction as this was happening. And I think the previous one went for like 0.12 ETH or something. I went and checked on it. It was already double that because of the news. But like they just lucked into like the perfect auction timing for like the pure run up.
They must know. I was just looking at rivals to see. I submitted a Switzerland team, and it's just not there. I'm going to miss out on tickets and things.
Xhaka, 12 AA in 17 minutes. Seems
Is that
pretty
it? No, that's poor.
good. That's poor.
High standards over there.
Here's the Forsberg one.
What did it end up
211 a month ago, 275 2 days ago, 415 was the.
And then look at right after. Look at right after though.
Somebody didn't see the auction.
Yeah. I always think with that, maybe that person saw that like the one of went for 415, and they're like, oh, he's selling. Let me just list. Like he's only got a 2 of, so like let me just list him and see if he buys. Then he sells instantly. Then he's like, wait, what happened there then? And then he does a Google and he's like, okay, no, I've messed up.
I like that the guy who bought for 257 now posted for 867.
Isn't it always the way? Isn't it customary that if you buy a super rare off of auction that you have to immediately list it for like 5 times the price you bought it for?
No, that wasn't the auction.
No,
that
but
was
I think that's just
Oh,
customary with like
right.
super rares, isn't it? Like
I think uniques work that way for sure. Like somebody
not?
buys it
You
for
don't
like
have it in
3
training?
ETH and then they post it for 17. You know,
so
like
I bought NepentheZ unique from who was the guy that like left the platform recently? Huge
Zima Blue?
guy. Yeah, Zima, and he's back now, which is nice.
Yeah.
If he wants to buy his unique back, he can.
Double
yeah,
price.
I bought him for like just shy of 1 ETH, and he's already netted me back in rewards just from his points alone more than the 1 ETH. And he's now back in Belgium, and he's doing all right, like some really high scores, but he's either dark green or yellow, like there's no in between. And hilariously, it's his away games that he's hitting dark greens in as well, which is a bit mad. And I had somebody like reach out, like wanting to buy him, and I was literally like, yeah, I'm like up to sell. And then he's like, oh no, actually he's injured, and he's not actually injured. It was just like a small one, but I'm very willing to sell my unique. But it's one of those things where it's like, how do you price it now? Like, because he's scoring well but inconsistently in a league that he should be excelling in, because he was playing in, you know, French second and then French first league. He's already got history in this league where he scored impeccably for one of the worst teams, Sorare. And so, like, how do you value that?
100 ETH.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will swap you for
Laird.
your Joao Felix.
Laird has a good history with valuations.
Yeah. I think I'm good with valuations. I'm not good with actually selling. Anyway, got a few questions here in the chat.
Yeah, let's roll.
Narky Sharky here said, what are your guys' thoughts on cards being eligible for international team collections alongside their club collections if they get selected for their national team squad within a season?
I'm always. It's not gonna like. It would be fun to have two collections and to like be able to do it, but it's especially the
They
fact
have a
that
couple-
they have. But the
they
fact
have a
that they
couple
have
national
those
team
international
collections,
cards kind of screws it up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then here we go. Hilo said, what do you guys think of building collections or stacks of the most popular clubs? Is going only halfway, like 2 to 3%, still a good idea, even if you lose out to the 5% stacks?
I think that if you buy all of the dead weight to boost the score, and then like if you buy just like the main 5 for your stack, you're then going to need, like, you've already spent like 90% of the total collection price. You might as well go the whole way.
What if you go the other way? What if you buy all the junk first and then you only have money for one of the good players?
Yeah, I mean, that's like a viable strategy, right? If you can get like from 5 different clubs, like 5 big hitters, get them 3 or 4%, and instead of just going for one club, I think that's like reasonable. You know, you spend like maybe $20 to get it up to 3%, and then $60 or $80 on one big card. I think that's like quite reasonable. Yeah,
It's definitely like a year of question though too, because if they're on auction, it's so much easier to go ahead and get that 5. Like if this is like an old season collection, like getting the 3 might just be the only thing you can do. Like that's what I did with my Twant collection. I mean, there's nothing really in that collection right now worth me going after just to get the 5%, except for like a pride thing. I got to my 3. I got the guys that I wanted boosted up.
Did
I'm kind of like.
Did Keith not see the Sorare update about top collectors that you're about to get certain special items in the store?
I wanted to bring that up actually in the show. I'm also, Keith, I have gotten to the point where I see 3% and I'm like, that's stupid.
Do you really think so? Really?
So admittedly, I get caught up in the leaderboard. Like if I have a shot to be first,
right,
I really try to figure out if I can be first. And if I can't, I consider selling the entire collection. I'm like, I don't even want to do this. But I see like my old River Plate one and my original Midtjylland one are at 3%. And it like legitimately bothers me.
Have we told Nep what I said we should name one of the shows? I said one of the names of the show, Nep, should be why SO5 is the worst game on Sorare.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. There's so many better games. There really are. How many collections are you first in?
None, probably. None.
Either of you.
I'm second in 2.
Oh well, if not first.
And then you say you're cooked.
Right, that's what I mean. And it like absolutely
you're about out?
grinds me.
Are you going to be out? You're not going to wait for that Jonas Lasswell Zoom?
No, absolutely not. But those 2, like I know that I can become first, so that's why I'm willing to do it. But like I have other collections where it's just like I can't get there. I'm not going to be able to get the jersey mints, the auction. There are no more auctions, and it bothers.
So genuinely, Laird, though, if like you had like viable cards, like I don't know, let's just say like the first thing came to my head, like let's just say you're like Minnesota. I know for a while you said you were kind of trying to boost Reynoso. Yeah. So would you like flat out like because you can't get first? Let's say that you got like Reynoso an extra 3%, like you would just sell out now because you can't be first.
I think that's a slightly different situation because I built that collection because of Reynoso.
Okay.
And so getting rid of that now, I'm actually hurting a card that I have.
Right.
Whereas there are other collections that I happen to have, and I'm like, I'm not particularly drawn to any of these guys. I like the team or whatever it is. Like USG. I have an Anthony Morris limited, and I think I said to you, both of you yesterday, and I'm like, $80, I have the whole thing. Should I just do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to get to 1, to like first on the leaderboard. Yeah, I can probably get to 5%.
I mean, that's a team though too. That's a team that literally is like I think I'm gonna like switch subjects on you accidentally, but like there are some like teams that I've done the collection game so wrong. I realized this last night when you said that, and like as we were talking about Leverkusen too. There are teams that are actually built for collections that have like the right pieces up and down. Like my Hamburg collection, a couple of my collections are just actually stupid because they have none of the best players in the right positions. You can't do like a 5-man stack with them. You're never playing all 5 of those guys together. But like USG is somebody that's used those guys to win a ton. Like they're set up perfect. Like their defense, like you can go goalkeeper, 2 defenders. You got Burgess, and then pick either a wing back or you can pick the other center back. Then you've got Puertas, who's amazing, absolutely sensational player. And then if you can just nail their forward, like Lapke Lassen is always on the left wing, so you could just plug him in, or you could go after one of their strikers and go for a goal. So I mean, and then like we already talked about Leverkusen, like I think those are like the smart collections. And I'm just a moron, and I haven't just was collecting. I literally made half my collections because I did the filter and I saw a jersey man on auction. I'm like, ooh, I want that.
Do you think if you are first, what you get from Sorare when they do this thing is going to be worth being first?
So I'm thrilled you brought that up. So anyone who
it is a lot of clubs.
Seen in the latest, what is it called, pitch notes, they said we now have the ability to exclusively add jersey items in the club shop for specific managers and top collectors. It seems weird to me that they said that. Like, why would you give access to certain managers if they were not just top collectors? But anyway, keep your eyes peeled for our first event. Obviously,
why did they say first event? Why did they say event? I did not read this, but no. I'm being hypercritical. I hear event. And well, maybe do I have to play in something and finish good enough to unlock that ability?
Yeah. Could you imagine if it was like something that's only open to the collectors to?
That's what I think it is.
But now you have to play as something, and you still have to do well.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. So my thought of all of this was like theoretically the biggest upside thing in this is either a signed jersey from the team or like VIP tickets, right? Or just match tickets.
Or if you're a Liga de Quito #1 collector, like I think you should get a season contract with them for how much money I've spent on those cards.
You own the club now, actually. The entire club you own. So I feel like it puts into that whole like Nep, you have this Arsenal collection.
2.
And it's like, if you did that for a jersey, just buy the jersey. But there's something completely different to like owning these cards and being like, no, I got this jersey because I bought these digital pictures.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. I think you can't buy a signed jersey. Well, you probably could, but like it wouldn't be yours. It'd be somebody else's that you just bought, right? But yeah, like I was thinking of like how can they do it for every club? And what if there's like interchangeable firsts managers? Like what if somebody else becomes first during the time? Or what if it's not just for first and then being second or third or fifth all of a sudden has value? Do you know what else has value being second? If first decides to sell, you're first. So you should work, even those collections where you're like, I can't reasonably get first. You can if you just buy his cards. That guy who's first, just buy his cards off of him, then you're first. And that's why I wonder, like, is what they offer going to be worth being first for? Because if you are first, you might either have a chance to like cash in by selling your cards to somebody who really wants what they're offering and will overpay to bring you down, or you're going to get something of genuine value for being a collector.
I imagine that they can't just give it away for first. Like there has to be something for others, or else if you're not first, why are you collecting it all?
Or maybe it's like first. Yeah, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that whole stack. Like first gets to choose first, and then second gets to see what's next. Like
I would love that actually. To be
honest. No. I do too. It's a semantics nightmare though on the web. Like how long?
Our job. So where Josh says, I bet Nep can't wait for Civisport match tickets.
I mean,
well, that's the other thing for some of us is that if it is match tickets, then that's kind of worthless.
Yeah.
And for like a majority of the collections, right? Like there's a few people that are going to collect for their local team, but a lot of us are collecting teams all over the globe. I want to see Tuggy. I want to see Tuggy show up in a San Frecce game. Tell his wife, "Hey, I'm going to Japan for a football game."
Grem says, I'm third in the Newcastle collections, and Momi at Sorare, who I thought was Momo, reached out to offer me to take part in a future trial and offered match tickets in exchange.
Makes sense.
Which I think is just like,
that.
I love
So what level of collection is that?
Limited, rare, super?
And like, so I'm, not to pat myself on the back, but I'm first in the Arsenal Super Rare and Arsenal Rare collection last season.
Right. It's worthless.
Yeah, so am I like? Are they like, oh, this is first, but for this season, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, so all of that money that I spent last year, I get nothing for.
No, you don't deserve it either.
And now I can't even enter into these new tournaments. For $500,000.
No, and I mean, just imagine, like all you had to do was buy that Cedric, and you'd be
well, because do you know what? When you said when I was talking about how that'd be like the first piece of a collection I'd have to dive into, it wouldn't. I bought Declan Rice last week. So that Cedric would have got Declan Rice 1% extra.
Yeah,
I'm actually like upset.
You were legitimately upset earlier when
I was when I saw it because there was 2 super rares on auction and I can't remember who the second one was. It wasn't a first teamer, but it also wasn't a nobody. And last night I was watching for ages and I just had it on my monitor because they've taken away the favorite feature, so I can't just have all my favorites auctions now.
You need to do a list, man.
Yeah, it's just a lot of work, isn't it? Clicking one button is like a lot easier.
No,
yeah.
It's not.
So I have, those like you can like save the searches. So I save all the teams I'm interested in.
That's what I meant. Save searches. That's what I meant. Save searches.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But you can't save like everyone because I want like all of like my favorite players from favorite teams that I want to like monitor in one page. So you used to have the actual little heart thing that you play. Yeah. And now they've taken that away. So I was just sat there with the Arsenal page open for ages and I was watching it and it got down to like 45 minutes left. I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, it's still like £68. I'm like, I'll be interested in this. And then I'm pretty sure I was like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. And then I come back and my mindset just went elsewhere. I clicked a little X on the thing, deleted that, like started doing something completely different. Then I woke up this morning and I literally was like, what did it sell for? I really hope, like my first thought was like, what did this super rare sell for? I really hope it sold for loads. And it just didn't.
Does it make you feel any better? And it probably makes you feel worse, but doesn't make you feel any better that the guy who got that card
Kevin
also has the 1 of 10 Eddie Nketiah, Declan Rice, Jorginho, Raya, and Ben White.
It would have cost you a lot then.
Well, so it does and doesn't. The reason why it does is because I've bought now 3 massive cards from Kevin, and so inevitably, I suppose I'm just going to buy these off him at a later date as well.
Kevin is the one who's at the top of the list here for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? I don't even know who the other player was that I was trying to find. Who was it that also sold? Oh, it might have been the goalkeeper, Hein. No, maybe not.
Oh, I think he was. I do remember him being up on auction.
Yeah, it might have been him.
I do think it was.
But like, you know, when we talk about good bad collections or bad good collections, or what do we call the show today? Smart dumb collections. Like even just talking
dumb smart, wasn't it?
Yeah, dumb smart or smart dumb. It's all the same.
Yeah.
Even just talking to you guys right here in this show and talking through how good a collection like Bayer Leverkusen is, and how bad of a collection Arsenal is, and yet if you look at my collections, they're all awful.
Yep.
Like genuinely awful. Like Liga de Quito, I've got 3 75-year-old strikers, none of who play. 2 of their midfielders are actually defenders, and one of their defenders that has a midfielder card that doesn't play. They've got 2 38-year-olds and a 16-year-old goalkeeper, so you just never know who's like what's where. And then I've got like Jean-Luc Motors who rotate more than literally any club on the face of the earth. And so you can't like, and even their best player, their captain, Paik Seung-ho, gets like 1 out of 3 games. And you're like this guy's the captain of the team and the set piece taker, and he still doesn't play. And then you've got Arsenal, who've got like 2 guys who have green scores in the last like L15. And you're like, okay, even though we win all the time, we just don't hit big scores. That's just the way it is. And you can't even guess the Arteta roulette. He like wants to sub off goalkeepers to try and change the flow of the game for crying out loud. And it's like I look at all my collections, I'm like, I've done bad here. And I'm like, even though collections are good, I've done bad.
That's kind of where I was thinking of all the show. Laird, were you gonna say something? Because if not, I want to toss a little bit of wisdom on Nep on his auctions and
terrible decisions. Yeah.
So Nep, you're just talking to me about, or you were just saying about on your auctions, and you wish that favorite feature was around so you could auction watch. If only there was like this website that you could go to a player page and you could hit like a little heart, and they could go into like a watch list, and then I could go to the auction block and say, just show me players on this watch list that are coming up. Like that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
They need that. I would pay money for that.
You think so?
Yeah, I'd pay like a good $10 to maybe even now $20 a month for that. I can't remember how much it costs.
You're welcome, Laird. Or should I say you're welcome, HG.
You don't even need to do that much, Keith. There's literally an auctions link on the watch list page. Like you don't have to go to the market and pull up your watch list. It's
okay,
just like,
so I added like 2 clicks. I could have saved 2.
Yeah.
Yep. Vargas goal. Let's go.
No.
Imagine not playing Vargas.
I was trying to differentiate. Damn it.
Fernandez assist. Oh, damn. I had him in and then didn't. Anyway, I want to go back because Surface had this question. He said, in my opinion, access and rewards for collection scores is perhaps very inefficient because many people built collections based on SO5 utility or previously owned cards. Like, does Laird really care about Midtjylland stuff VIP? Like, my collection, which was originally a 2022-23 rare collection, I now have a 2023-24 limited collection, has made me want Midtjylland VIP or jerseys or whatever. Like I am dying for a Midtjylland jersey, and it literally costs almost as much to ship it to me from Denmark than it is to actually buy the jersey. And if I could, because of my collection, have somebody in Paris who has closets full of jerseys, including one from my favorite Danish club, and can just send that to me, I'm in.
Yeah. But so I agree. But I will take to Surface's point too. I do think there's some validity to what he said too, in terms of like it being inefficient. Also to what Nep said, because like you're freeze framing this in time. Like right now, Kevin is beating Nep in one collection. But if Nep all of a sudden, like in 2 days, he happened to have one day that he bought, 10 guys and they're all going to get 10 more points. So like on a Wednesday, Kevin's winning, but on Friday, Nep will be, because they're all hitting 90 days. Like, is Kevin actually the better collector at that point?
I am not buying 10 of anything.
No. I'm saying, Hey, Laird, did you see what that is, by the way? I think that was a wallet.
That was an actual wallet. I don't even have mine on me.
But I mean, like that part is a little bit of a fallacy to it, because like Nep could actually in that situation be, the top collector. He had a day, like he's on day 88 of his 90-day maturity. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's as simple as like the day of. We know what the date is, and it is what it is.
Right.
What message does that send though as well to like lower budget players? Like it becomes again like a big boys club, right? Even at limited level, like you're never going to be able to get that number 1 spot Man City collector. And it's like, I think it sends the wrong message to why you should collect cards. Maybe you should be entered into a raffle, and the higher collection score, the more entries you get. Like,
I mean, look, I was looking, like I've been working on my Liverpool collection, right? And, I'm seeing the price point that, like if I was wide NWA, I'd kind of be fuming a little bit about these away cards, because like he paid some insane premiums on the number 1s for this season. And these away cards are
way.
I'll let you say in a second like they're going to over like technically if somebody went after all these white cards and took the jersey mints and stuff like that, they would beat him. But like Mark deserves, like if there's like a Liverpool type of thing given away for a collection, like I know Mark's gotten plenty of stuff from Sorare, like he's well paid, but I'm completely okay with the guy that just goes after all the number ones and pays whatever the premium is just because he wants to own them. Like I'm completely okay that he gets first dibs or that he gets the stuff. Like you spend a couple $100,000 on a collection, you probably do deserve.
But do you think? Like I always wonder this with people like him. It would actually be interesting to hear his perspective. Like he has made, like he sleeps on a bed of gold bars thanks to Sorare. You know, like does he really care if he misses out on like a signed jersey or a pair of match tickets? Like does he? And he might. Like it might be the principle of the matter where he's sitting there thinking like, do you know what? I've done a lot for this site. Okay, he might have benefited, but he was there investing at the beginning when it could have all gone belly up. Like you know, he put a lot of risk into the site. Like would like I don't know, is he like sitting there aggrieved if somebody else can just go and get some like new away cards that offer way bigger collection score, put them first, and then he misses out?
I don't think there's any chance that happens. Like this company is run by human beings who can see how much money he spent. Whatever they're giving away, there's going to be one for Mark. I don't think he's missing out on anything from a Liverpool collection.
A liver plate. Yeah.
Liverpool, yeah. Liver plate. But like honestly, like we're talking about this as if like, oh yeah, I'll just build a limited collection and I'll get more than whoever builds the rare or super rare one. Like I'm sure they have multiple of whatever they're going to do, and yeah.
How do you feel
comes down to the person who spends the most money gets the coolest stuff?
Yeah, he deserves it.
But that's what I was saying though for Nep. Like, does it, like you were asking, you know, is it bad that it's just a Wales game? Not really, because the Wales spent a crap ton on those collections. So it would be cool though. Like Andy Black's always been a proponent. This is where I'll caveat. If they had, hey, anybody in the top 50, you know, the top 5 get this stuff, but then we're gonna do like 2 lucky draw type of things, and as long as you're in the top 50,
yeah,
you have a chance. Now that would be really cool, because then that is the way to still give other people maybe like hope. But like unfortunately, you know, you spend a couple thousand. Like guess what, Nep, if they do have an LDU keto thing, you do deserve to get something, because you like you spent more money than anybody on that damn team. So like it's okay that you get rewarded for that.
Yeah, I think so. Do you think there's like how do you feel about these new cards like from Liverpool, and how that might change the value of getting an auction card or a jersey mint or a one-off? Like because like you know I spent a lot of money on the LDU one-offs. Yeah. I overpaid like significantly on some of them just to get that one-off.
Right.
If all of a sudden they release an LDU Sudamericana Champions version. Yeah, and now all of a sudden some other person can just come in and take that number 1 spot because they've got these special editions that I just don't have. I'd be livid.
Yeah. I told you both in the chat. I think I get why they're doing it, because it's a business and they're selling for 20-30% more than the others. But I think they've already overdone the away editions. There's too many. Like I thought maybe it would be like 5 rares, 50 limiteds, maybe like 1 super to keep it special.
Like they did with the Sorare,
Sorares or the champion edition. Yeah. Like you know, like people like Quinny that have and I think McBride that have the, you know, like the champion edition, like Celtic stuff. Like those were cool cards. Like there wasn't like, I want to say there's only like 1 or 2 of each player on those, or there wasn't very many. But like there's a lot. Like I keep checking what they keep coming up, and there's every day I refresh. Yeah. There's another day of the whole Liverpool team drops.
They're 26 Trent Alexander-Arnold ones right now, limited.
That's mad, isn't it?
Okay, but where's that on rares? That doesn't seem awful for limited.
We have 6 of 19.
But is there more coming? That's what's already come, right?
That's what's already exists right now. Yeah.
Yeah. See, so that's like it should have been done.
Yeah.
It probably 5 is probably too much if we're being honest. Like 5% special edition, and then you know, like I'm one that's swooped up 2 or 3 of the jersey mints, but like we already talked about that. That's a collection sheet.
So
those will be at 90.
Based on what Surface says there, I have the discussion point I think for next week is has a collection given you the ability to like fall in love with a team and follow it, or even dislike a team and not follow it? Because there's a few teams that I've got collections of that I just hate. But there's a few like Houston I've started collecting a lot of, and I love watching Houston play. I actually think next year they might be the best team in the league. If they could just sign a really good striker, I think they could be the best team in the league.
As long as they play every game at home, they should be fine.
As long as they play every game at home.
So for those who are listening, Surface said, I'm first in a couple of collections and top 10 in a few others, and I couldn't care less about stuff from those teams, to be honest. But obviously others' mileage may vary. So I think it's okay if they contact you and they're like, hey, we see that you really love, I want to use a specific example. Let's see what Surface has. We see you really love Hamburg. Would you like a jersey or match tickets? And he's like, not really. And they're like, okay, we'll give it to someone else.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Would you like a year's supply of free McDonald's? Right?
Bad example.
No, this can work, right?
No, I think that's fine.
I don't know. Like, then you still get your SO5 utility. Like, you don't have to take stuff that people are offering to you.
Right.
At that point, again, though, is it a lot of clubs from a lot of leagues and a lot of people to message and keep on top of and track responses from? Like I suppose the work that goes into that.
I mean, like that's a Nicholas problem, but I knew you were gonna say that, Laird. But it does end up,
it's a logistical nightmare. 100%. Yes. Yeah.
What are you doing the work? Who cares?
You have to care, right?
I mean, he cares because he's not number one right now, so he's got to wait for a couple of people to give their answers, and he's worried he's not going to get the email.
I mean, I just want a Midtjylland jersey. Seriously, that's all.
So, real quick before we end, can we answer? I just want to tackle Charlie's thing at 3:32. So, because it's collection time only, Charlie, it's for the purpose of collections. Even though they're not the special edition Golden Boy or League winner, they are counted the same. They're still considered special edition cards for your collection bonus. So they matter just the same as the Liquid Dream or the Golden Boy or the Champion Edition. And then if you really did like what I did on a couple of Liverpool cards, you find these not as good guys that had jersey mints that came up at the exact same time. And I mean, I'm sitting on a first-owned jersey mint Diogo Jota it's going to be at 90. I had, what's the other? Curtis Jones was the other one I bought. Same deal, 90 points once 90 days in. So those are tough because, people are having to buy 2-3 cards to get that type many points. I'm doing it on one.
Yeah.
What was I just about to say? Oh, so I have a question for you.
Exactly. Too.
Keith, did you know that signature cards are not special editions?
No.
Interesting.
What are they considered?
Cards.
But they're under they're under special edition tab on Sorare.
I don't think for collection purposes they're special editions.
Diogo, don't contact me, buddy. I'm good.
Yeah. Nep, last question before we go. Is there anything from LDU Kyoto that they could offer you that would like make this worth? No. Like honestly, if they were like, "Hey, we have whatever," because you're the top collector.
If I had like the signed match ball from the Sudamericana final, I would love that.
Okay,
but that would be insane.
What about a signed jersey?
Didn't they lose?
Yeah, so as long as it was a worn jersey, yeah. I don't want like some stocked like club stock jersey. I want someone's sweat, right?
Don't end, Laird. Don't end. Would you smell it?
100%. You'd have to, wouldn't you, just to make sure it's authentic?
Yeah. Like, I think that's fair. That's fair. How do you know? Yeah.
Did Andy confirm smell his spin? Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to confirm that.
Put it in the frame because then the frame holds the smell. And this is anyway. Thank you to everybody for joining us. If you could please like, subscribe, even though Nep doesn't think that matters. It's always nice to hear. Did we? I don't even know what we talked about today at this point. Now that we're going through, but
Smart, dumb
smart, dumb,
collections.
or dumb, smart. Hopefully, everybody's just having fun because that's what we're here for. So, thank you to everybody, and we'll see you next week.